Good morning and BGN, honorable members of the jury, teachers and friends. Welcome to the seminar of the Conclave 2012-13. Today's seminar will be based on the focal theme, the economic reforms of 1991. And I have been provided the liberating opportunity to initiate you all with the theme and hence underlying prospects. Before I get into the nitty-gritty of the event, I would like to introduce the two presenters who will enthrall you with their stats and facts. I, Ashwini Kant, and my teammates Adil and Deepika.
In 1991, price of petrol shot up. India used to receive huge amount of remittances from Gulf countries in foreign exchange. In the wake of war, this took a serious hit. Gulf crisis thus further deepened the balance of payment crisis.
Moving on, we have fall in forex reserves. Foreign exchange reserves that were rupees 8,151 crores in 1987 decimated sharply to 6,252 crores in 1990. And believe it or not, the situation became so horrendous that the government
my respected teachers, honorable journalists and my dear friends. I continue with my team members Shivangi and Shivangi are here to let you know about balance of payment. But before starting, honorable journalists, my teachers and respected friends. I, Ranjan and with my team members Shivangi and Shivangi am here to let you know about balance of payment. But before starting, I would like to ask everyone, please, do you know anything about BOP? Anyone? Okay. Balance of payment accounts are an accounting records of all monetary transactions between a country and the rest of the world. These transactions generally include payments for countries, export and import for goods and services, and financial transactions. There are two basic terms which will be basically used in concept of BOP. They are, the first one is current account. It shows the net amount the country is earning if it is in surplus or spending if it is in deficit. It is the sum of balance of trade, factor income and cash transfer. The second one is capital account. It records the net change in ownership of foreign assets. It includes reserve account along with loans and investments between the country and the rest of the world. The main elements of balance of payment are positive BOP and negative BOP. Positive balance of payment means
Good morning and BGN. We are here to present agricultural reforms which were taken under New Economic Policy 1991. The agricultural sector is the backbone of the Indian economy, as it accounts for about 52.1% of employment in the country. The agricultural sector is the backbone of the Indian economy, as it accounts for about 52.1% of the total employment in the country. In terms of composition, out of the total share of the GDP in 2011 and 12, agriculture alone accounted for 13.9%. The 11th Five-Year Plan also indicates that agricultural development is an important inclusive growth approach. The proposals of the agricultural reforms were achieve 4% growth in agriculture and raise incomes by increasing productivity, sharing growth by focusing on small and marginal farmers, lagging regions, women, etc., to maintain sustainability of agriculture by focusing on environmental concerns. On the positive side, the reforms have improved terms of trade with agriculture and opened up reality.
just switch off the music, please.
Hey, wait. I couldn't understand the heading. I mean, what do you mean by New Economic Policy 1991?
The industrial policy introduced on 24 July 1991 indicates the respective roles of the public, private, joint and cooperative sectors, small, medium and large-scale industries. It underlines the national priorities and the economic development strategy.
It also spells the government's policies towards management, establishment, functioning and growth.
Industrial policy prior to 1991.
Dominance of public sector. The policy of the government was to ensure that the public sector gained control over the economy by giving emphasis to the basic and heavy industries.
Future development of 17 important industries such as arms and ammunition, atomic energy, coal, railway, transport, etc. was exclusively reserved for the public sector.
Entry and growth restrictions. License was mandatory for establishing new units with investment above a specified limit for manufacturing of new products and for undertaking substantial expansion.
Large firms had to obtain clearance under the Monopolies and Restricted Trade Practices Act in addition to the industrial license. There were also restrictions on capital goods, etc.
Restriction on foreign capital and technology. Industries where foreign capital was allowed were subjected to a ceiling of 40% of the total equity. Operations of foreign company in India were regulated by the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act (FERA) 1973.
It is said correctly. Last but not the least, honorable judges, members of the jury, teachers and my dear friends, I, Aswad, and my two very diligent friends, Utkarsh and Shivangi, are here to explain the nuances in the employment sector of the economy due to the economic reforms of 1991. To commence with, I would like to put forth a very basic question in front of you all. What does the term employment mean? Anyone? Okay, let me give my views. Employment is a contract between two parties, one being the employer and the other being the employee. It is an occupation for which the employee is paid by the employer for the services rendered by the employee. And in this context, I will explain my stance, my analysis on the rural employment sector due to the 1991 economic fiasco. It is a misconception that the economic reforms were more polarized towards the urban areas. As for my statistical findings, the rural employment blossomed after the 1991 economic reforms. And to support my findings, I have the following table. As seen here, the rural employment increased from about 14.8 crores in 1971 to 19.7 crores, 24.9 crores and around 31 crores in 1981, 1991 and 2001 respectively. As we can see here, there has not been only a significant increase in number of workers during 1991 to 2001, but the increase has also been the highest. As shown in the next figure, the index of rural workers, which showed a continuous increase, increased by 41 points during 1991 to 2001, as against 33 and 35 during 1971 to 81 and 1991 to 2001 respectively. Let's see another figure, which tells us that the rural participation ratio
Agriculture growth rate and rapid decline of the GDP. As a result, output growth during the post-reforms had declined to 2.68% from 3.41% during pre-reform period. This declining growth adversely affected employment creation in the agricultural field, where growth of workforce has come down from 1.34% in pre-reform to 2.05% in post-reform. Now, in the industrial sector. The employment creation industry, such as the construction sector, experienced a high employment growth, whereas manufacturing sector grew at a declining rate.
2008 to 9. The value of Indian rupee fell to record low of 56.52 against the dollar on May 31 after the announcement of poor economic numbers. Mr. Mukherjee said he was just hopeful that the economic situation would improve in the current financial year. But the question is, what if the mighty hopes of the government leave us all hopeless? If I were to conclude, taking into account all sectors of the economy, I would do so very safely by saying that yes, it definitely caused many vital changes in our economic system. Today, we stand at the cusp of another transition because the economic policies of 1991 are slowly getting diluted within the strong and boisterous political and financial milieu. As Shakespeare said, what was is not is. Similarly, the structure of our economy is not similar to that of 1991 and therefore cannot be governed on the same policies which were drafted 2 decades ago. Our finance minister can be very hopeful about his whimsical decisions, but we are unconvinced, and a question tickles our mind every now and then. What if the mighty hopes of the government leave us all hopeless? In totality, all the conditions and situations point towards something which is very inevitable. A new set of economic reforms 2012, which should be more effective and pronounced than 1991. Thank you.